Big Blue travels to Beaver Stadium to take on Penn State this Saturday. Welcome to the show. My name is Brock Page, and apparently I look like the wheelchair guy from Scary Movie 2. The Nittany Lions opened up the 11.5-point favorites at home. Since the betting opened up, however, we've seen a good amount of that early money come in on Michigan to get the job done. Right now, the Michigan Wolverines find themselves catching just 9.5 points against the spread in this Big Ten showdown. Now, if you're leaning toward Michigan, tough break. I don't see this one getting back up to 11.5 points by the closing bell. Even worse for you, this Wolverine squad has covered just 2 of 6 overall and 0-1 against teams over 700. As far as the early action goes, this one got Penn State up to minus 12.5 originally, then back down to 11.5, and now down to 9.5 where it is now. I think we'll see that number get even lower despite Michigan's quarterback problems. Penn State bettors will certainly be happy about that. These Nittany Lions have been a pretty good covering team on the year so far. Now against a number, Penn State's going 4-2 overall, 3-1 at home, and 4-2 as the favorite. Along with going 3-1 covering as the official home favorite, the Lions have garnered themselves covers of 18, 31, 37 points respectively, just to name a few. All said and done, I've got to lean on the side of Penn State bettors in this one. I certainly wouldn't jump at the opportunity of laying 9.5 in this one, but it looks like the trends favor the Lions. Now, when it comes to scoring, Michigan's defense has really given the struggling offense an opportunity to win games despite their struggles. The Wolverines have given up just 14 points per game in their last 3. Meanwhile, similar story for Penn State games as the stingy Nittany Lion defense is giving up just 9 points per game on the year. I think this has all the makings of a typical Big Ten defensive struggle. That said, we still have no opening line on the total. Therefore, I'm going to predict a total of 41 total combined points in this one. That number will serve as my pick on the total after that opening line is released. All told, I'm going to forego a play on the spread, even though I like Penn State. I do like Penn State to win it outright, however, for some lousy money line odds whenever they come out. I also, once again, like a total of 41 total combined points. Next matchup, UNC at Virginia Tech. The betting in this one opened with the Tar Heels catching 22. Since the betting opened up, however, we've seen that line move down significantly in the early going. Right now, the Virginia Tech Hokies are laying 20.5 in this conference showdown. If you're betting sides and you like the Hokies, I think we can wait it out till this one gets down to about 18. Certainly wouldn't be shocked if it got down that low. Meanwhile, if you're betting the Virginia Tech side, I really don't think you have a whole lot to worry about. Virginia Tech comes in covering 3 of 5 overall, as well as going 3-1 covering as the favorite. And along with going 1-0 covering as the official home favorite, the Hokies have covers of 25 and 29 points respectively. They also have a marquee cover laying the points against West Virginia. Virginia Tech faces a UNC squad who's been piss poor against the number all year round. Against the spread, North Carolina's gone 1-6 overall and 0-4 as the dog. Along with covering just 20% against teams over 700, the Tar Heels have failed to cover over the likes of Virginia, Georgia Tech, and Cal. All in all, I'm not crazy about laying 3 scores in this spot here, but I'd certainly buy the hook in this spot and buy it down to an even 20-point lay. Now, when it comes to total, this Hokie defense has been real stingy in their last 3, throwing out the Clemson game. In those matchups, the Hokie D has given up just 9 points per contest. Meanwhile, similar story on the UNC side, but it's their offense that's been struggling. They're averaging just 10 points in their last 3. That said, I presume we'll see an opening number of a pretty low total. All told, however, I'm buying the hook and taking the Hokies minus 20 and a total of just 39 total combined points. Next game, UCF laying 6.5 on the road at Navy. UCF's a perfect 5-0 against the spread on the year and 2-0 on the road. Even better against the spread, this Central Florida ball club is a perfect 4-0 as the official Vegas favorite. They're also 2-0 covering against teams over 700. UCF's also garnered themselves a huge marquee cover over the likes of Memphis and a 27-point drubbing. UCF takes on a Navy squad who's covered just 1 of 3 at home and failed to cover over the likes of Air Force and Tulane. All said and done, I don't think we'll see this opening number of 6.5 move downward. As a matter of fact, if you're betting the UCF side in this one, you might want to act quick. I really see this one getting up to about 8 by the closing bell. Now, when it comes to the total, I have no idea what this one's going to open up at, but I know we've seen a lot of points in both teams' games. UCF is averaging 42 points per game, while the Navy midshipmen average 36 points a contest themselves. All told, I'm buying the hook and taking UCF laying 6 and winning it outright with a total of 60 points even. Next game, Utah State takes on the Rebels at Sam Boyd. I know you Vegas guys love your run of Rebels, so let's take a look and see if they get it done. UNLV opened the 2.5-point favorites with the early action moving it up to an even 3. The Rebels have been a great covering team on the year thus far, They're 4-1 against the spread overall and 2-1 covering against teams under 500. The Rebels have covered 2 of their last 3 and have garnered themselves marquee covers over the likes of Ohio State. They got themselves a Utah State ball club who's covered just 2 of 6 on the year. In addition to that, the Utah State Aggies against the spread are just 1-2 on the road and 1-3 as the dog. Utah State's coming fresh off 2 straight losses to Wyoming and Colorado State, where they failed to cover both contests. All said and done, I think laying 3 on the Rebels is just about as good as you're going to get if you're betting sides. Now, if you're liking the visitors in this one, I really do think we could see a closing number of about 4.5. Now, total-wise, we've seen a little this and a little that in both teams' games. Throwing out that San Jose State game, these Rebels are giving up 43 points a game in their last 3. And on the other side, Utah State's proven they can score some points themselves. Throwing out that Colorado State game, this Aggies program has averaged 41 points of scoring in their last 3 themselves. All that in mind, I think we should see ourselves some fireworks in Sin City or another dud from the Rebels. All told, I'm going to ride with UNLV because they have been a good covering team thus far. All told, I like the Rebels laying the 3 with a total of 54 total combined points between the 2 teams. All right, folks, next and final game, Marshall laying 2.5 on the road at Middle Tennessee. If you're betting sides in this one, keep in mind that this Marshall team is covering 83% of their games overall. Against the spread, this Marshall squad is 5-1 overall, 2-1 on the road, and 2-1 as the favorite. Along with going 4-1 covering against teams under 500, the Herd has garnered themselves quality marquee covers over Cincinnati and NC State. They're going up against a Middle Tennessee squad who's covered just 3 of 7 overall. Even worse, Middle Tennessee State's covered just 1 of 4 as the official Vegas underdog. More recently, MTSU has failed to cover 2 of their last 3, failing to cover against the likes of UAB and Florida Atlantic. Easy to say that I'm going to ride with the Thundering Herd in this one. And when it comes to the total, keep in mind Middle Tennessee's giving up 27 points a game in their last 3. Meanwhile, Marshall's averaging 29 a game in their last 3 themselves. Not sure where this one will open up at, but I'm liking a total of 43 combined points between the 2. All told, I'm buying the hook and taking Marshall -2 with a total of 43 total combined points. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me. Before I get out of here, I have to remind you that I am not a sports betting expert, nor do I implore you to take any of my picks. Wise man once said, good ain't free, and free ain't good. If for some reason you decide to use the free information on this program, you're utilizing it at your own discretion. Most importantly, if you're betting any of these games, do it safe, do it responsibly, and most important, have fun. For Brock Page Productions, I'm Brock Page, and have yourself a positive day.